what up? I'm B and welcome to my channel. I hope you are having a great Tuesday today, and I am super excited to chat and talk with you guys. I took an entire week, a little bit longer, off of YouTube, and I missed it a ton, so I am super glad to be back. And we're just gonna wait a little bit, have a few minutes for people to get in here, and then we'll go ahead and get started. There are a few drama-related things I want to talk about, but this is just kind of like chat, catch up, and then later in the week on Thursday we will get into some more nitty-gritty stuff. Okay, May's in here. Hi, May. Hi, Courtney. Hi, Potato McGee. All right. Sorry, I want to move this real quick. It's been a minute since I live streamed. Okay. Liz, hi. I missed you guys so much. It was so good to have a full week, like over a week off of YouTube, just kind of relax. I spent time with family. It was really great, but I have definitely missed you guys and talking to you, and especially doing live streams. Pre-recorded videos are fun, but I've missed live streams so much. Okay, Brianna's in here. Hi. Hi, Olivia. May said, please tell me we're going to talk about the Jeffree video. Yeah, that is on the schedule to talk about today. I am doing really well. I hope you guys are all doing good too. I want to give it another minute or so, and then we'll go ahead and get started. I have two kind of housekeeping things to talk about, so we'll get into those, and then I do have a few notes of stuff we want to talk about. Shaban, hi. I'm so glad that you guys are all in here. Okay, so first thing I want to talk about is, if you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, you saw that I was on vacation. I was posting some pictures. I did in fact go out of town. I left my home state and I went to visit my sister and my brother-in-law and their kids, and it was totally great. And I know that you guys all probably assume that I was responsible in doing that, but I do just want to talk about traveling during COVID, leaving town, spending time with family, doing stuff like that, just because I feel like it is my responsibility to put that out there and to make it known. We're going to be talking about influencer parties and all of that, so I just want to let you guys know before we traveled, my husband and I work from home for now during COVID. My husband still just have to go to work, but we quarantined as much as possible. We used up everything in our fridge. We did not go grocery shopping. We did not order any food. We stayed in as much as we could. We both went and got tested. There are multiple ways to get tested for if you have COVID or COVID antibodies, and you can do that by donating blood. You can do that by donating plasma. I'm sure multiple urgent cares have COVID tests, but my personal, the urgent care in my area is called FastMed. So if you're in Arizona, they offer tests whether or not you have insurance or don't. I don't know, insurance, it would depend on how much it costs, but you can get both tests for around $100, paying for the appointment and then getting your test for $100 there. There are private places to get tested. There are drive-through tests at CVS and at Walgreens. You just have to fill out a questionnaire on their website, and then they'll send you follow-up information. So there are tons of ways to get tested. If you are going to travel somewhere, if you're going to be interacting with people that you don't typically interact with, I would recommend doing it. Just want to put that out there. We wore masks on the plane. Hi, Oscar. I bought a ton of hand sanitizer, wipes. We wiped everything down at the airport. We were as safe as we possibly could be. So I want to make it known that we took precautions, and yes, we are in a global pandemic. Things are weird, things are off, but I still think you can be responsible and take care of your mental health. And if you're going to visit somebody, if you're going to see people that you don't typically see or interact with, please use precautions. I did. I'm going to be posting more pictures from my vacation, from my trip with them, so I just wanted to put it out there, make it known, safety first, but also have grace with yourself. Understand that you're human. humans are not meant to be alone all the time. My husband and I have been in the house together since March, essentially, not really going out, not seeing friends, and I will say we've gotten into a bit of a bad habit where we do these like annoying inside jokes, and hanging out with people who aren't just the two of us made me realize how annoying we might be. So that was definitely interesting. All right, Oscar, I'm so glad you are in here. Chantel said welcome back. Thank you. You said hello. Hi. Hi, Natasha. Liz said, it is recommended to go to your primary care doctor to see if they recommend you for testing, to prioritize testing and labs for people with chronic conditions so they don't overwhelm the labs. That is an awesome point. Thank you for sharing that, Liz. All right, South of Grace, you're in here too. Hi. Okay, so with that out of the way, now I am back. I am home. I am staying home, and we are having some changes going on in our home right now. We had to fix a room in our house, and of course when you go to fix something, sometimes you come across other problems. So we are having some work done, and the construction is a lot, so I'm gonna do my best to like get back on schedule and do regular lives on Thursday, stuff like that, but I am at the mercy of the people who are helping us and who are fixing our house. So can't guarantee, but I will try to keep you guys like updated and do my best to stay on a schedule. We might end up having to do some lives in my car or something, just because construction is loud. So I wanted to just let you guys know about that going forward. All right. South of Grace said, I missed your content so much. That's so sweet. I missed talking to you guys so much. Heather J. True Crime said, I just found your channel recently from your true crime videos, and girl, you are one of the best in the category. I have literally binged almost all of them. Thank you so much. And you said you think you'll do any more. Well, I know you just found the channel. This is something that I have discussed a little bit. I do enjoy doing the true crime videos. Those are really fun. Not fun, but like they're very interesting to me, and I enjoy talking about true crime topics. But in the effort of producing content and videos that the majority of my subscribers like, I have leaned more towards current events because those are the videos that just do better. So every now and then I'll do a true crime video, but they're not going to be consistent like they were in the past. So I'll apologize. I know that you found me through true crime and you were just watching the true crime videos, but those aren't going to be the main focus of the channel. So just straight up front with you on that one. Oscar said, I know, I keep having to work. I missed you all. I'm so glad that we are all in here. Unicorn Blush, hi. Rana said, it's been hard on me because I miss my little cousins so much. I used to see them a few times a month, and I haven't seen them in so long. Yeah, it's so hard. And the thing is, like, you want to be responsible and you want to make sure that you are doing your part in containing yourself and not interacting with any unnecessary people. But, you know, I think with little kids it's a little bit different, but like as adults, we can make decisions to be responsible and see immediate family sometimes, you know, not constantly going out and then hanging out with friends and then going to a bar, like containing ourselves as much as we can, but just have grace with yourself. Like, humans 1000% were not meant to live in isolation. Like, we are meant to be social, and I think that's definitely a big part of why, like, I missed posting on YouTube. You know, like I said, doing pre-recorded videos is fun, but like actually doing lives and talking to you guys, I was like, I want to talk to them so bad, but I have to do this vacation. Like, I have to be present. I have to take advantage of the time with my family. So I missed you guys. I am glad to be back. Vacation was great, but I'm very, very glad to be back. South of Grace said, I've added more to my plate in your absence. I'm doing Twitch streams now. Dope. That's so cool. What are you doing Twitch streams about? Jules McPhee said, crap, I'm so late. No, you're not late. We just started. I just got through my spiel about how I'm going to be posting pictures from my week off and all the safety precautions that my husband and I took before we took our week off and before we went and saw my sister and her husband. So I just wanted to be a responsible person and put that information out there. So it was basically just a 10-minute spiel about that. All right, Z, hi. I'm so glad you're in here. Okay, so that was like the boring like housekeeping stuff that we had to get out of the way. Oh, thank you so much, May. I appreciate the donation. I love the little sunglasses on the emoji. Brenna said, at least I had my dad and sister and our cats. I would have absolutely lost it if I lived by myself. Yeah, I cannot imagine, like, being by yourself. And yes, we do have amazing technology where we can, you know, do Zoom, FaceTime, all this stuff. But it's, like, it gets to you a little bit. Even me just, you know, living with my husband, it's nice to have another person there, but it still can feel very isolating when you're seeing that same person every day and not being able to interact with other friends or family. So, I mean, I'm very appreciative that I have someone here, and I definitely have empathy for people who are by themselves. Like, that's gotta be really hard. Natasha said, I've opened my bubble to a friend that I've seen almost every day since we were months old. We are both in high school now, but other than that, I'm still trying to distance as much as I can. Yeah, and I think as an adult, like, it's just kind of up to you to be responsible and to make those decisions for yourself and to trust that, like, the other person is also being responsible. I know a lot of counties now are requiring masks, so that's good. Like, that's a good thing. You know that if they're going anywhere, they're masking up. It's a weird time to be alive. I finally bought cute masks. I've had this basic black one. My husband's work gave us both one, and so I've just had that, but I was like, this is boring. Let's get some cute masks up in here. South of Grace said, live recording of podcasting and reaction videos to political content, but it's other stuff too. Actually streaming tomorrow night and talking about whatever. Oh, that's super fun. If you want to, like, put the link in the chat, feel free to, like, your Twitch page. Okay, so hi, Kat the Fantastic. Hi, Leah. I'm happy you guys are in here. So, of course, first day of my vacation, Jeffree Star posted his apology video, if you can call it that. And it took me, like, a hot minute because I saw it and I was like, I have to watch it. Like, I have to see what he said, and maybe I'm going to go live, maybe I'm going to talk about it. And then I was like, no, whatever it was, obviously it wasn't important enough for him to post it, like, when we were all really asking for it, so I'm gonna wait. And I watched it when I got home, and I basically just had the same reaction of everybody else, which was, what? Like, it took you this much time to just come on here and deflect for 10 minutes? I mean, honestly, I watched it through once and I was like, this is enough. Like, there's really nothing to break down in here. I mean, I'm sure if I were taking, like, an approach to, like, his word choice or manipulation, stuff like that, like, I'm sure there's tons of stuff that you could dig into and find about the apology. But really, like, next to my note, I just wrote, Jeffree's apology - trash, not genuine, not worth discussion. Like, it wasn't. It was him coming on, deflecting, saying that he doesn't want to be in the drama, he's not going to do this anymore, and then using a really important movement to kind of trivialize the things that he has done. To say, like, well, you know, black people are being murdered innocently. Like, they have not done anything and they're getting murdered every single day. Don't focus on what I've done. Which is really what it felt like. And I was like, this is just terrible. Oscar said, God, train wreck more like. Yeah. It is just, it's nothing. South of Grace said, I'm glad you left it alone. Enjoyed your vacay. I for real, I was so tempted to go watch. And I was like, no. This is why you're not posting, because you are not looking at YouTube stuff. Liz said, I just started working for my Department of Health, interviewing COVID positive cases to educate them to isolate, so COVID is all I think about all day. Oh my gosh, that is such important work. I hope you are taking care of your mental health, because I feel like that would be so overwhelming at times. Brana said, he upsets me so much, like he just needs to stop. For real. Potato McGee said, ugh, he didn't actually apologize for anything. It was all basically a big ad for his company and new products. Endimer14 said, BLM, now buy my products. Right. Kat the Fantastic said, when he used BLM issues to deflect, it made me feel so icky. Like, it's literally just... There was nothing that I saw in it of value. It was all deflection. It was all, like I said, using a really important topic to take away, like, to trivialize what he's done and to make you feel dumb for caring about the bad things that he did. Louisa said it was exactly like all of his other apologies. Yeah, it sounded like his never doing this again apology, where he was like, I got caught up in the drama. Of course I did. Oh, here's one thing. This is the thing. You guys know that this bothers me. When somebody asks a question just to seem smart or just to seem a certain way, like when YouTubers do it in their apologies, I feel like what they're doing is they're looking on Twitter to see like the most common thing that people are upset about, and then phrasing it into one sentence, one question, and then being like, of course I did, of course I didn't, to like, I don't know, because they think that that's what you want to hear, I guess. Bink Stink said, it's almost like we can be mad at more than one thing at the same time. Imagine that. Wouldn't that be a wild thing? Courtney said, the fact he didn't even bother to put links in the description nor post anything to my knowledge of him since he's coming back. Oh, of BLM since he's come back. Yeah, like, that just shows how disingenuous it was. If he really wanted to put the focus on that, he could have put petition links, he could have put news articles, he could put donation links. Like, there are a lot of things that you could do to seem a little bit more genuine. And he didn't do them. Brianna said, some people pointed out that when he first posted the video, the comments were on and apparently he turned them off like maybe an hour or so later. Yeah, he turned them off and he turned off the like to dislike ratio. You guys said something about doing an apology and then saying, anyway, I'm releasing products next month doesn't sit right with me. Yeah, like it was just, it wasn't good, but I don't know what we expected. Like, I'm disappointed, not surprised. Kaylin said, Shane did it so much in his apology video, lol, the worst. Yeah, and he did it in his, like, apology, his notepad apology on Twitter, too. I'm like, dude, that's so annoying to me. It's like that kid in class who will be like, oh, I was thinking about this one problem. If you do 2 + 2, it equals 4, right? Like, they'll ask a question to seem smart. And it bugs me so much. But... I mean, and thoughts on his apology. It did nothing for me. It shows that this is who Jeffrey is. The fact that he couldn't even come back and, like, make a legitimate apology. And, I don't know, like, it does not change my opinion on him. It just solidifies it more. But I guess it's good that he posted something, because I will say... as somebody who didn't really pay attention to Jeffree Star whatsoever until maybe a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, you can hear from other people that this person has a pattern of behavior, or they act a certain way, or they're this kind of person, and it won't really click because you, for me anyway, like I'm somebody who is so much like, I'll respect you until you give me a reason not to. Like, I'll be your friend until you show me that, you know, maybe you're not a good person. Like, I want to get to know the person based on what I see as opposed to what I hear, and I kind of do that to a fault. And so for me, it took me a long time to really, like, detect the BS on Jeffree, because I heard all these bad things, and I was like, well, I don't have any firsthand knowledge of this. So as he continues to show that he puts out, like, apology videos that he really doesn't care about, and then continues to act the exact same way, as he continues to do that, more and more people will hopefully have that experience and understand why so many people speak out against him. Courtney said, Shane's apology. I couldn't enjoy the launch because of being called out. Jeffrey's apology. I want to enjoy my launch. So sorry, I guess, but buy my stuff. Oh, Cat the Fantastic said, Jeffrey, every time he apologizes, of course I did, but... Right. Oh, you guys are talking about Gabby. We can talk about that a little bit at the end. But yeah, so it was just... It's the same thing that he has done in the past. It felt pretty much like the exact same apology that he made last year after Tati's video. It was just, I don't know, like, I don't know a word for it other than I don't care. Like, it didn't change my opinion of you. It honestly, it makes me look at him and just be like, you really just don't get it. Like, you just don't get it. But if you have any other, like, last comments about Jeffrey's video, last opinions, go ahead and put them in here, and then we're going to move on. Natasha said, I have to go eat, but I'll be sure to finish watching later. Enjoy your food. South of Grace said, yes, I was wrong, but I won't learn from my mistakes. Essentially. It's like, did I get caught up in the drama? Of course I did. And call me out in the future. Like, I've had trouble listening, but for sure call me out in the future from now on. Like, alright, dude. Oh, I cannot wait until it gets a little bit colder because live streams are so much more enjoyable for me in the winter because I have to do it with the door shut, and so I, like, get so hot and so thirsty. But anyway, that's beside the point. Kaylin said he sort of looks like a cartoon villain too, just saying. Yeah, he looked very extra. And the angle and, like, the couch and the way he was sitting was definitely very overstated. It was super interesting. Alright. Next we're going to be talking about influencers going to COVID parties. Courtney Bliss said, did you see his Instagram where he said he hasn't traveled since February even though he got called out for that used jet pic for his grandma? Dude, no, I've tried to avoid watching things that are just gonna, like, irritate me. And I feel like everything he posts really is gonna irritate me. But he said, like, even in his video, he's talked about how he's just taken time offline to reflect. And people are like, that's not what you've been showing us. You've been hanging out with Black China and buying cars and, like, taking pictures with fans. What do you mean? Toodles McPhee said, I watch a lot of body language analysis videos. I'd love one of them to do a deep dive on Jeffrey. That would be so interesting. Oscar said some of them are real life brain dead, I swear to God. It's ridiculous. Yeah, so Diana, James Charles, Erica Costell, a bunch of TikTokers that I literally don't even know who they are because I'm not on TikTok, are going to parties and going out and touching people and not wearing masks and wearing those dumb, like, mesh masks, and it is ridiculous. Like I said, humans are not meant to be alone. Humans are meant to socialize. Doesn't mean that you should be going to a party. Does not mean that you, like, I don't understand the thought process behind that, because you would not catch me dead at a party. Like, maybe that's a bad choice of words. You would have to pay me $1 million to go to a party. Like, with LA kids, with TikTok kids, like, you know those kids are not social distancing, they're not wearing masks, they're not taking safety precautions, and they're posting on their Instagram stories going to parties, going to restaurants, hanging out with different people, like, hanging out in large crowds. It's like the people who went to the Chainsmokers concert. Like, why would you do that? I truly don't get it. Potato McGee said, I'm honestly not surprised people are having parties during COVID. Didn't parents used to have parties to give their kids chicken pox? Disappointed but not surprised. Yes, but that would be like, I feel like having a COVID party, like, in the sense of chickenpox parties, would be like having a flu party. Like, the chicken pox, get it when you're a kid. It's less dangerous when you're a kid. If you get it, like, get your chicken pox, get it out of the way, you won't get it again. But with this, it's like, we have no idea. It's like going to a flu party. You can get the flu multiple times. I can only assume that, yes, if you have COVID and you survive it, then you'll have antibodies to fight it off next time. But who says you can't get it more than once? Cat the Fantastic said, man, influencers going to parties makes me so mad. Someone replied to my tweet saying young people don't have permanent side effects from the virus. It's such a yikes. Oh my gosh. Courtney said, a guy hung out with Jake Paul, got COVID, told Jake, and he said he doesn't care and has continued to party along with Tana and potentially James, who came into contact with Logan. That's so ridiculous. Like, I truly do not understand that logic. Like, you want to know how I think you should handle COVID? Because working from home right now, there are a few days throughout the month that are pretty big days, like at my work, and so once or twice a month they have asked like different people on different teams to come in for those specific days. And last month, 2 people tested positive for COVID who had been in the office within the last 2 weeks. And then 2 weeks from then, they had asked me to come in, and I was like, hey, like, are we gonna legit do this? Like, did those people, were they the only ones who got it? Did they sanitize? Yada, yada, yada. And then my bosses were like, you know what? Never mind. We're just gonna keep everybody home. Like, even though they were the only ones who tested, they'd been here multiple weeks ago, no one else has had any symptoms, like, we're just gonna not risk it right now. Like, that's how it should be. That's what should happen. We can't control not having to go out sometimes. Sometimes you do have to go do things. But take accountability for your own life, for your own health, for the health of the people around you. Like, to know that you interacted with somebody who had COVID and then to just be like, oh, I don't care and I'm still going to throw a party is absolutely irresponsible. I feel like people who do this stuff should be, like, charged in the same way as somebody who, without telling their partner, like, intentionally infects somebody with an STD. Like, that's a crime. So I feel like people who knowingly interact with somebody who has had it and then go on to throw a party or don't quarantine, like, there should be some kind of fine or something. Liz said, I'm going to set up a GoFundMe to raise $1 million to you to come to my next birthday party. Hey, if we're not in COVID times, I'm always down. Siobhan said, Tana, I have asthma mongoose. Right, like, she's immunocompromised. COVID targets your lungs, from what I understand, because I'm just a dummy. Like, I don't know everything about COVID, but, like, it affects your lungs pretty severely from what I understand. And so if I had lung issues, I'd probably care a little bit more. But that's just me. Oscar said, who's trying to die for the chain smokers? I truly don't know. And Dimer14 said, I'm in New York, so I saw firsthand COVID, and there are people acting like it's nothing. They're all horrible. I'm sorry. It's just so angering for me. I can't even describe my anger. Yeah, like, this should be treated as a very serious thing. Like, we should not just be going out and going to parties. Unicorn Blush said, this is totally unrelated, but I had to step out of my room, and as I came back, it hit me that the wall behind my PC has the same lighting as what is behind you. It tripped me out for a moment. Twinsies! Oscar said, all of them have plenty of money to not be out. It's such an insult to service workers and medical professionals for them to all be at parties like that. Right, and I was watching, As Told by Kenya's video. I didn't finish it because it was right before I started this, but she was talking about how, like, these influencers, when they go out, they have makeup people, they have hair people, they probably have, like, wardrobe people who come in, and these people need a paycheck. Like, influencers, in most cases, they don't need a paycheck. They could go a few months and still be okay. Most of them could go years and still be okay. Not getting money and like not doing anything new to get money. But hair people, makeup people, they rely on that income from getting hired to come do your hair, to come do your makeup. And so you're putting them at risk when you are going out to these parties. And I get that it's kind of like a conundrum to say, well, I just won't hire them at all and I won't give, then they won't have money anyway. But like, I don't know, if you have like a team that you love and you care about, you could hire them to come dress you up to do a photo shoot. Like, you don't have to be seen at Jake Paul's party. Avalon said in Canada, if you have a large get-together, there's a fine. As there should be. Kat the Fantastic said in Australia, there was a security guard who wanted to spend some fun time with someone who was COVID positive, and now the guard is technically the start of the second wave. That's horrifying. Courtney said, these influencers do blatantly selfish BS, and when they get called out, parrot each other by taking accountability in a black screen white text apology. Right. Siobhan said, if someone dies from one of his parties, it could be considered neglect. I mean, I feel like we're going to have a lot of new laws and like a lot of new policies and procedures set up because of this, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I don't think Jake Paul's going to get charged with anything. Like, he supposedly got arrested for looting in Arizona, but I don't know what happened with that. Like, I don't think he would be the one to get charged, but it could definitely happen. Potato McGee said, in all honesty, the situation annoys me. Yeah, maybe they're not visiting anyone in their family, but they're visiting other people's family. They're putting others at risk for a party. Go on Zoom. Right, and the thing is, like, if you want to put your health at risk, that's one thing. If you want to make a decision to, go to a party, I think it's dumb, but, like, they're interacting with so many other people. They're going to restaurants. They're probably they're getting driven there by somebody. They're having hair, makeup, wardrobe people. They're going to stores. Like, they're going out to other people who did not consent to have you go to a party with a bunch of young kids who think they're invincible. Because here's the thing. I understand, like, maybe some of the younger influencers thinking that they're invincible and not really caring and, like, thinking, well, nothing bad's gonna happen to me, I'm fine. Like, I get that from, like, young people. But Tana is old enough that she should know better. Like, I think I felt invincible until I was probably 19. And quite honestly, I broke my foot when I was 19, and then I was like, oh my god, life is so fragile. And that, like, broke me out of it. But, like, Tana, you're old enough to know. Like, you should know that you have this responsibility. James Charles, a lot of people are, like, commending his apology, but I kind of feel like it was the same as everybody else's. So, whatever. But, like, James Charles should know better. Erica Costell should know better. These are people in their 20s, like, early 20s, but still in their 20s. They should have some awareness of how serious this is. Be honest. Oh, and the other thing that bugs me, I'm going to read your comments in a second, but the other thing that bugs me is that Tana still has not made a video about Colin. Like, she said that she was taking time off the internet to put a multi-part video together, or like multiple videos together, so that way she could really address what he had to say, and she's partying instead. Brianna said, they truly only care about themselves. They can't seem to understand that it affects more than just them. They cannot care about themselves, and that's on them, but when you put someone else's life in danger for a party, I can't comprehend. Yeah, exactly. Courtney said, James just bought a house. If I had all this time and his money, I would be having a ball of a time designing each room and setting up decor and closets. Like, stay in your big house, keep busy, right? They got so much money. Like, they could totally stay home for a while. Oscar said, Tana doesn't care about anybody but herself, clearly. Exactly. UA said, as an introvert, I don't understand why anyone would want to go to a party that bad. Right, and it's like, you can't just take a few months, like, hang out. I mean, I want to have sympathy for anybody who may experience loneliness or like having a hard time being by themselves, missing their family, all that stuff. But at the same time, like, you guys are rich. You could stay in your houses, you could order food, you could have a chef come cook for you. Like, you could spend every day hanging out at the pool, like, doing whatever you want, just hanging out at home and relaxing. That sounds like a literal dream. Unicorn Blush said, LOLB, RIP foot. It was a rough one. I had a wake-up call. Ollie said, what's sad is they probably know that it's serious, but the parties and the attention are just more important to them. Probably. Like, that's literally what it is. They just don't care about how serious it is. They are benefiting from going out, I guess. And Dimer14 said, I'm content staying in bed. I never liked parties. Oscar said, they had to have known they'd get called out, though, like, read the room. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. I mean, I guess they have to post it to keep up the illusion or the image of their lifestyle, but, like, you guys knew people were gonna be mad about it. South of Grace said, I've been doing Zoom, Skype, watch parties with friends. It's not physical, but it's still hanging out and having a good time. Yeah, that's so fun. My siblings and I did. We all, like, did a FaceTime on our computers, and then we each had our phone, and we played Cards Against Humanity over Zoom. Like, it's not the same as being in there, but it's nice. It's fun. Like, there are ways to get social interaction. Oh, Siobhan said, did you see Chris Clemens' video? He said everything I've wanted to scream. I've heard that it was really good, so I have not watched it yet, but I need to. Courtney said, some people are speculating Tana is purposely trying to get COVID so she doesn't have to address Colin or simply Nessa, and seeing her blatant disregard and posting it, I'm worried she might do that. Honestly, like, I would not be surprised. Like, I really would not be surprised, which is a sucky thing to say, but, like, I would not put anything past Tana at this point to, like, the lengths that she would go to avoid taking responsibility. Oscar said, and they were dumb enough to post it. Right, like, you guys knew that people were taking this seriously. I just wonder, like, are they getting positive validation? Because I feel like everyone that I follow is mad about this, but I'm also following people who are a little bit maybe more conscious of how their actions affect others and how, like, serious things are. So, like, are young fans not calling them out for this? Are they thinking that it's fun? Are they telling them that they wish they were them? Allie said, I don't even understand where the apathy is coming from. I think the general consensus around COVID is it's still a problem. Who is making them feel as if it's fine to go out now besides themselves? I think they just think, like, the rules don't apply to them. Kat the Fantastic said, me and my boyfriend regularly play MMOS together. Haven't seen each other for like a month or so since I live with my nan who's high risk. It's so easy to find ways to spend time with those who care. Yeah. And, like, it sucks. This is not an ideal situation for anybody, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Like, you have to be aware of the people in your life and the people that you could impact. Oscar said Elijah Daniel calling them all out was funny, though that man is so chaotic. I feel like I'm starting to like Elijah Daniel. For a long time, well, I wouldn't even say a long time. I didn't know who he was until he did a video with Tana, and I didn't really like him at first. I was like, I feel like this guy's just kind of, I don't know, like, I don't know the right way to describe it, but somebody who, I felt like he was mean to Christine a little bit, like, somebody who, like, pokes the bear but goes a little bit too far, like, likes to mess around and have fun, but, like, doesn't take anything seriously, isn't aware of when he's crossing a line, and I was just like, not my thing. But recently, like, I think I like him. He did, those trucks, when COVID first happened, they were getting all the like all the supplies to give out to homeless people, stuff like that. And he's been like calling Tana out. I think I like him now. I'm starting to like him now anyway. Courtney said, Tana set up a COVID relief charity, right? I'm remembering that, right? She mentioned how serious and real COVID is, and she's taking it seriously, yet then she parties and posts it. Yeah. Let me look, because I know she did, but I'm wondering if it's still up. Like, if she still has links, or if it's still a legitimate thing, like what happened with it. Let's go check. Okay. Here's the video. It's the letting you in on the truth about MTV, depression, a life update. So the links in here are feedingamerica.org, calfund.org, and the Suicide Prevention Lifeline. I don't know about this. Let's look up Tana Mojo charity. Here it is. Bink Stink said, I'm honestly terrified that they will all get sick because they are so likely to spread it and could literally kill someone. Yeah, that's the thing, is like, you know that they're not quarantining after these parties. They're not even wearing masks. Like, at the very least, wear a mask. At the very least, if you have to go out, you have to go to this party, wear a freaking mask. Carry a bottle of hand sanitizer with you. Put it on like a little belt. Make it cute. Like, I don't know. Just figure something out. Okay, so I'm reading the whole story. Oh. Tana Mojo's charity. What is it called? Like the 1111 Project? Let's see if that still exists. 1111 Project. There's really nothing, but there is an Instagram for it. There's an 1111 Project Rentals. All right, let's see. I guess it still exists. I got corona, not clickbait. They've raised like $90,000. Oh my gosh. Dang. Okay. You know what? They raised almost $90,000. So that's great. But, Tana, you raised a charity for COVID. Probably shouldn't be partying. Alright. Yeah. We're all literally just on the same page. Like, this is dumb. Brianna said, Ice-T's father-in-law got COVID, but luckily he's okay now, but he has to stay on oxygen because of the damage it's done to his lungs. Yeah, it's a real thing. It's a legitimate thing. And influencers going to parties when they could be doing something good and, like, addressing accusations of racism like they said they would be, that'd be great. Oscar said, story time. Jake Paul tried to kill me. Potato McGee, I see you room tour. I can't stand you guys. UA said, I have a feeling Tana's apology is going to be something like, I was in a dark place and didn't care if I got sick. Right. She's going to say, and this is not to make light of mental illness, but she's going to say, like, I was so depressed. I was in such a dark place. I thought I was over Jake, but I guess I wanted to be around him again. I didn't care if I got sick, if I could be with him. Like, she's going to come back with something that she's going to put on that tone in her voice that's going to sound like she's very sincere when we all know that she's not. And it's ridiculous. But it angers me. It's dumb. I hate it. Moving on. You guys wanted to talk a little bit about Gabby. Oh, okay. I know what you guys were talking about earlier. Because I was going to say, like, she deleted her social media and, oh my god, this, frick. Do we have enough time? I'll give the brief rundown because it seemed like a lot of you didn't know what they were talking about, and I didn't at first, but we might have to do a different video about this. Anyway, Gabby deleted her social media. She came back to the podcast last week because she'd been missing for a few weeks. Came back, basically said that she had, like, she'd taken a little bit of a detox, a little bit of a break for herself, and it was really nice, and that's really great. But Hello Leash, or Alicia Page, is a YouTuber. She has roughly 30,000 subscribers, I think, and she is the one who Gabby made those live streams about, where she was reading all of their messages off of her computer while she was doing the live stream, and she potentially maybe doxed Alicia. She was like, look, these are legitimate conversations I'm reading word for word, and her phone number was in it. I personally did not see her phone number, and not to be like a creep, but I was like zooming in, trying to figure out, I was like, is there a way to like enhance this and like figure out what her number is? I didn't see anything. I don't know if that means that nobody else can, because so many more people are more like technologically savvy than I am. But besides that, they got into it. They went back and forth for a really long time about this whole situation, and Alicia recently posted, it was like 55 minutes, like a 55-minute long video, and I will tell you, I watched that one because we were coming to like the end of vacation, like winding down, literally just like laying around all day, so I was like, I'll watch this video. But it was like 55 minutes long. It was with a girl named Cammie, who used to be like a stan of Gabby's. She was in Patreon, Discord, all that stuff. And she basically shared her experience of leaving the fandom. Things got pretty intense. She was getting a lot of like death threats and people telling her to go harm herself. And Gabby was like gaslighting her, telling her she had no idea who she was. And like Cammie had said this one thing where she was like, you know, I noticed that after I'd interacted with Alicia, Gabby unfollowed me, and so it was just kind of odd, and I wanted to talk to her about it, and Gabby said, like, this is massive paraphrasing, like, whittling this down. Gabby had said, like, I know I never followed you because you didn't post about it when I followed you, but you posted when I unfollowed you, is essentially what it came down to. This girl had an anxiety-induced seizure while she was on FaceTime with Hello Leash. Like, it was a very intense situation. It was only up for a few days. Apparently, there was a legal problem. I don't know, but Alicia ended up taking it down. UA said it's mostly about fandom drama. Right. Tamara said her video is great. Jules McPhee said, yeah, I was on Gabby's side. To be honest, I should see the other side. Oh, because you said, I didn't watch Hello Alicia's video. Has anyone seen it? Is it worth it? Right. So, I mean, with that situation, like, I felt like they were each in the wrong a little bit.
How many fish?
Thank you. Like, I felt like they were each in the wrong a little bit. But when it came to potentially showing private information of Alicia's, Gabby should have taken it down. Like, she just should have. And I think the way that they each acted, I disagreed with. Like, I didn't find myself aligning with either of them. But Alicia's video, I think it shows an important conversation about things that maybe you might not even really know about if you're not involved in them. Because really, I don't look at, like, Gabby's side of Twitter. I know that when I've posted videos about her, I've gotten people in my comments saying some pretty mean things, but it's never really been a huge thing. So showing some of the screenshots that they did, it's like, wow, like, this is a really intense situation, and it seems like this is really unhealthy, because I feel like when you like somebody, when you like an influencer or a celebrity, you should be able to see when maybe they messed up, or like when things are unhealthy, things are going too far. Like it's a very, I don't want to say toxic because that's such an overused word, but it's a very codependent situation, I feel like. And Gabby requires a lot of loyalty from her fans, and her fans are willing to give it to her. And that made for a very intense situation that really, I mean, still could have very serious effects on somebody's health, because Cami had a seizure. So Cami presented herself extremely well. I felt like the video was it was put together very well. It wasn't any sort of attack, in my opinion. It was really important to talk about. But Courtney said, I watched it. Yeah, she said something about an FBI investigation into the account targeting Cami, and potentially something to do with Gabby herself, I believe, as to why she took it down. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know how far it went. I think it would be interesting to see if it does go to the FBI. I feel like if it does, there were probably maybe a little bit more serious threats or more menacing actions being taken than just the screenshots they showed, because from what they showed, it was definitely not like a healthy situation and something that should be stopped, but I don't know if it would be FBI worthy. That would be so intense. Okay, I'm gonna say your name wrong for the millionth time. If you can, phonetically put how I say your name. XRYXIX Xerxix. I don't know how to say it, and I feel bad saying it wrong. But you said YouTube is such a wasteland. It literally is sometimes. Juggy Vibe said, hey, have you been? Haha, yes, YouTube is a dumpster, but we miss you. I've been so good. I'm glad you made it in here. We're about to wrap up, though. Anyway, said the sad thing is this kind of harassment is so common in fandom culture. Chrisix. Okay, I'm going to write that down. Hold on. I'm like the type of person, you know how they say, like, if you say somebody's name 3 times in a row to their face, you won't forget it. I, like, have to look at it and read it and be like, say it 15 times in a row. Okay. I'm so bad with names, you guys. It's ridiculous. You ever have that where you, like, met somebody and you know you've met them multiple times and you're still just kind of like, you? That's me. Siobhan said, FBI watching drama channels. I mean, I feel like this is such a common trope now on YouTube, is they're talking about the FBI is looking into it. They've launched an investigation. It's like, did they though? Courtney said, the reason for the FBI is because the account/troll made multiple accounts targeting her with self-harm images and threats. And Alicia said she took it down until some important things could be refuted, proven. Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense. Kaylin said, can you make some predictions about what's going to happen next in the Jeffree and Shane drama? I can try. Chrisix said, I'm awful with names. You're all good. Okay, good. Pamela said, Gabby and her fandom unfortunately breed a lot of people who follow her to a point of codependency because she is a codependent person, like she said in her videos before. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, yeah, it's just, it feels like they feed off of each other, and at some point you gotta realize this is a person on the internet that I don't even know. Maybe I should take a step back. UA said Chris Hansen's impact. Man, his channel did not go the way I hoped it would. Ariel said, OMG, yes, I caught the live. Hi, Ariel, welcome in. Brianna said, I went to her channel to check her community post about it, and it said that she had to take it down because of legal reasons until it can be refuted or proven. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense. Okay, so there was one last thing I just wanted to address, and then I'm going to make the predictions. I'm going to see what happens, what I can come up with on the spot for Jeffree Shane predictions. But a person named Ethan, I believe, has come out. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I have like an eyelash. Came out with some accusations against James Charles. They are of a predatory and sexual nature. And of course, I do want to give respect and give a safe place to survivors of any sort of abuse or assault, anything like that. So I want to kind of wait this out. This is a tough situation to talk about because, of course, the subject matter, first and foremost, but secondly, because of what happened last year with so many people making false allegations against James. And so I watched part of the video that he put up. I saw like 2 minutes of it on allegedly Angelo's Twitter. He like posted a clip of it, and I mean, it sounds credible, but I know some people have been posting videos about it, talking about it. I'm gonna hold back a bit and just see what comes out, see what happens, see if James responds or addresses it. I don't want to like jump on a salacious story just because it's salacious and it's like tea and interesting, because this is a really serious topic. So I will be like keeping up with that and getting more information as it comes out that I can bring back to you, let you guys know what's going on, and we can talk about it. But for now, that's all I have to say about it. And then finally, Jeffree and Shane predictions. Quite honestly, I feel like the person who is going to bear, or the person who's going to continue to bear the brunt of all of this will be Shane. I think Jeffree has diversified his income enough to where, yes, a massive part of his audience is on YouTube, but he also has money coming in from other places. I'm sure he has investments in other like stocks, mutual funds. I don't know. I'm not a banker. Like, I don't know, but I'm sure he's made investments, and he does have a massive income from his makeup company. Yes, a lot of people are boycotting his makeup, but there are plenty of people who do not watch YouTube who have Jeffree Star products because they grew up with him on MySpace, from his friendship with Kat Von D, like from his music. He has a massive audience outside of YouTube as well who will buy his makeup. And so I think it's really great that Morphe did cut commercial ties. I'm not sure what all goes into that, but I mean, he still has avenues of making money, and I think with a person like that, it really will take hitting rock bottom before anything registers to them. And even then, it might still not like register that they've done something wrong or they've behaved in a way that's not okay. So, I mean, I think he's going to continue to get called out on YouTube, but I don't know essentially if that's going to really make a difference. As for Shane, I don't know. I mean, he was really already kind of going a long time without posting on YouTube before any of this even happened. And I've seen people talk about how they think he's going to come back with a documentary about himself with this whole situation, but I feel like it would not be a redeeming move for him if he did that. I feel like if he did it, it would get tons of views. Like, honest to God, I would watch it if he came back with a documentary. But I don't know that anything he could say would change the way I feel about him and about some of the jokes he made. You know, we all have different thresholds of what we find appropriate and what we don't. And some of us are like going from a spot of growing up with him to becoming adults and looking back on that and realizing that he said those things and they weren't okay and you just didn't register it at the time. And some of us are coming from a place of not even having watched Shane Dawson TV, meeting him when he did his like crazy food videos and his conspiracy videos, and then learning about the fact that he made those jokes in the past, and that he was an adult when he made those jokes. And that's really kind of at the heart of who he is, as evidenced by his friendship with Jeffree. And so, like, I don't wish any harm on him, but I feel like in the long run, that would be a bad move. Like, I don't think it would change a lot of people's minds if he came back with a documentary. So he may do that, and like I said, it'll get a ton of views, but I don't think it would revive his YouTube career. I don't think he can come back in the same way that he did before. I think he has to do something new. He has to come out with like some kind of new business venture, because this isn't working anymore. Oh, Druggy Vibes, you said, what's your opinion on influencers going to parties and getting COVID but won't say it? We had a huge convo about it earlier in the video, so I'm sorry you weren't here for it, but I will be leaving this up if you want to go back and check it out. Oscar said that man will be fine financially. Right, like, Jeffree Star has always gotten hate. I mean, yes, some of it is hate, some of it is valid criticism, but he's always been a controversial figure, and so I don't think he's fazed by any of this. Maybe the cut from Morphe was like a blow to the system, or like a shock to the system, but literally overall, this is nothing new for Jeffree. He will be fine, which sucks, because sometimes people who have bad intentions really do win sometimes, but I mean, we have to accept reality for what it is sometimes. It just takes a little bit for like justice to happen. So Courtney said, somebody, I believe, made a petition to get him remonetized. You know about Shane? That's ridiculous. Courtney said, Shane should make an 8-part series going through every terrible thing he has done and being called out for, pointed out, and take full accountability for his actions and genuinely apologize. Yeah, I mean, like I said, if he put out a series about himself, I would watch it. But at this point, he's made so many, like, apology videos, or, I mean, not so many, but he's made multiple apology videos, essentially, for, like, the same things. And I didn't feel like he was genuine in any of them. So, I don't know, like, it would take a very long time to convince me that he really recognized the error of his ways. Like, he would have to, I don't know, because, like, I wouldn't want to see it. If I saw it on camera, I wouldn't believe it. I would want him to be off camera, to learn about things, to take time to educate himself and understand why these things weren't okay, and come back and not do his, like, typical Shane apology where he blames it on childhood trauma, where he just says, like, did I do this? No. Did I do this? Yes, it was so bad. I hate myself. I don't even know that person. Like, that was you. Like, I understand looking back at your past and not aligning with the person that you were, but that was still you. That's part of you. You can't distance yourself from something that you're trying to overcome and change. You have to embrace it. You have to accept it, and you have to understand why you feel that way, why you acted that way. What part of you was hurting when you did that? Like, where does that come from? Heal it and then change it going forward. Like, that's just my opinion. Anyway. Chrisick said, but he needs to be investigated, honestly. Yeah, I mean, ugh. I truly hope that everything Shane did was, in his mind, comedy, and it was not covering up with jokes for legitimate harmful actions. But if it did, I hope that if anyone was victimized by Shane, they feel empowered to come forward at this time and actually launch a legitimate investigation if it's needed. It's horrible to think like that, but I don't want anybody to be investigated or to go to jail or, like, go down. But if legitimate harm was done, I hope that they look into it. I hope the police look into it. Ollie said the most apt thing to do is probably just sit the anger he's receiving out, and hopefully he does accept that he did something wrong and not behind it all just being jokes. Yeah. Chrisick said all that money he has from being an oppressive piece of shit. Yeah, he has a lot of money. He can take some time away. He can, like, the thing about donating money is I think it is absolutely incredible. And if you are called to donate and you feel like it's an important cause to give your money to, like, that is so incredible. And I will never tell somebody that, like, they're not doing anything by donating money, because money talks. But at the same time, like, I think it feels good to give money. Like, it feels good to give to charity, but it also feels good to do charity work or to learn about people who maybe need some more assistance than you. Like, I think actually doing something, like going and learning about the things that he did, like how they hurt people, and reaching out to those communities, doing something to actually help them, would really make an impact in his mind and would do a lot to make other people feel like he's actually taking this seriously. And I would not want him to film it. He could at some point maybe come back and talk about what he did and how he learned, but I would not want him to film it at all. Also, yes, I have seen D'Angelo Wallace. I have seen D'Angelo Wallace's video. And I thought, like, I think D'Angelo's really funny and I enjoy his videos. It's like, he has like an hour-long video that feels like it's 15 minutes. Like, he's really great. But there were some things that he said that I think he legitimately said that Shane was like a predator. Like, I don't know what word he used, but it was a very bold word, and I understand his reasoning for using it, but I feel like you kind of have to be careful when making really bold claims. Pamela said, I just don't see how Shane can make a redemption without a video on himself uprooting his racist past and making reparations to it. Yeah, like, I think, like, I understand that approach, and I think it would track with who Shane is, doing videos, creating the redemption arc, all of that. I just don't know that I would believe it if I saw it, if that makes sense. Pamela said maybe start a foundation or donate a huge amount to charity to the Black community, and from that point forward, always address it. Yeah, and I think kind of the heart of what Shane's issue is that he wants to always distance himself from it, and he gets mad if people, like, bring up past things he did or past jokes he made. Like, he'll get mad and say, like, well, I already apologized, and it's like, okay, but maybe that person didn't hear your apology. That person's just finding you now and just learning about these things now. They didn't follow you when you made the apology in the first place, and you already said that apology wasn't good. Like, I think when you hurt somebody or when you make hurtful content or hurtful jokes or just say things that hurt people, you have to understand that just because you apologize doesn't mean you are absolved of what you did. People are still allowed to be hurt even if you've apologized once. And so he really has to stop being so defensive and just be open to the fact that he hurt a lot of people and he messed up. And, you know, I'm not going to say it's okay, but I will say that everyone has made mistakes and we can all learn to be better. We can all be better going forward. And so your past does not define you. You will have to take accountability for it, but you can still move forward while doing that, while making things right, while genuinely and legitimately apologizing and changing for the better if that is what you want. Oscar said, I wonder how Shauna, the girl he did all of those videos with, feels about this. I remember watching a video probably a year ago where she said, like, she didn't, like, outwardly defend it, but she didn't denounce it either. And so I don't know if that was her just trying to, not, like, I don't want to say save face, because Shane wrote the content. Shane hired her for the content. It's not like she made it up. But I think she maybe was coming from a place of not wanting to admit that she realizes that it was hurtful, or that it hurt her. So she didn't necessarily denounce it, but she just kind of was like, well, it was a joke. Like, Shane was always nice to me in person. I don't know if she's changed her thoughts or opinions on it, though. Druggy Vibe said, but why does he have to come back? If it was another person, it would be over. Right. That's the thing. It's like, I don't think he can come back to YouTube. And honestly, I have not watched a ton of his content over the past year. He hasn't really posted stuff that I was interested in. And he hasn't really posted a lot anyway. Like, a lot of his videos are months apart, and that's totally fine. But for me, when it comes to pretty much anything, I have to watch it on a consistent basis to remain interested in it. That's just like how a lot of people work, and that's how I work, definitely. That's why I like Netflix and Hulu. If I have to wait like for a new season of something to come out, it'll take me like 2 years to watch it after it comes out, because I've forgotten about it or I no longer care. So I haven't really been watching him that much even in the past, but I did buy the Conspiracy Palette, and I will own it. I have it. I still supported him, but at this point, it's like, I don't care whether he comes back or not, because it's not gonna, like, I'm no longer going to support him. If he changes, that's great. I don't want anything bad for him, but I just don't want to watch him anymore. Louisa said she definitely didn't want to rock the boat. Yeah, I feel like that was kind of it, like, maybe she had her own personal opinion, but she definitely didn't want to come out against Shane. Maybe they're still friends, like, I don't know. So I'm not sure. Chrisick said, also with who he surrounds himself with, it just looks like he's learned to be silent more than anything. Yeah, I mean, with, like, Jeffree Star's your best friend, what do you expect? He's your family. But, okay. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. I had so much fun being on a live stream with you guys. I definitely, like I said, I enjoyed my time off. It was really great to just kind of take the week, relax, spend time with family, not constantly be like checking social media or YouTube, all of that. But I miss talking to you guys, and I miss hanging out with you. And I will try to keep you guys updated. Like I said, we have construction going on, so that's why you're getting a live on Tuesday at 6 o'clock. But I'm going to try to be as consistent as I can. Pre-recorded videos Tuesday, live videos on Thursday. They might just be filmed in my car because it's very loud in here. So, with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Thank you so much for watching. Please be kind to people, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.